新コート上の王様誕生だ。
It's volleyball season in anime land, and Haikyuu's back with a highly anticipated 4th season, so it's the perfect time for a recap of some golden moments from the past seasons. We've already done a video of the best Hinata moments, and it only makes sense to do another one, this time focusing on the other half of Karasuno's freak duo Kageyama. He's a natural-born genius with little patience for the talentless, so without further delay, here are the top 10 Kageyama moments from Haikyuu seasons 1 to 3.
1回戦も2回戦も決勝も全国も勝ってコートに立つのはこの俺だ。
We start off with a strong first impression. It's the junior high athletics meet. Hinata's the underdog, leading a team of part-time volleyball players. He's also fighting a serious case of nerves. Kageyama's the undisputed favourite, the king of the court. They cross paths not on court but outside the bathroom. That's Haikyuu for you, where a quirky setting trumps a cool one any day of the week. The exchange between them is an eye-opener to their wildly contrasting personalities. We see Hinata's anxiety, but also his excitement on finally being on the big stage, and we see Kageyama's sense of superiority that makes him unapproachable even to his own teammates. For someone who's a terrible communicator, as we soon find out, Kageyama has some of the most memorable quotes in Haikyuu, like his first parting shot to Hinata's feeble challenge on that first meeting. The first game, second game, the playoffs, the nationals, I'm going to win them all, he says. Now that's what you call a great character introduction.
コートに残るのは勝ったやつ、強いやつだけだ。勝ち残りたかったら強くなってみろよ。ツーアタックさせるか。話なんて出てません。
Next up we have the face block. At the beginning, you might think Kageyama's Haikyuu's quintessential cool guy, but a few episodes later, it's clear he's just as big a dork as Hinata. He's awkward, makes funny faces, has a woefully limited vocabulary, and sucks at studying. Volleyball's all he's good at, quite frankly. It's refreshing to see the writer give this prodigious center the comic treatment every now and then, like his love for yoga, or when he's practicing how to smile with horrible results. All that time, Hinata felt the pressure of being in a big practice match and served straight into the back of Kageyama's head. But our pick for the funniest Kageyama moment is his block against Jozenji, which he takes like a champ on his face. It earns him a bleeding nose and our laughs, of course. It also feels like poetic justice, given how he's constantly lecturing Hinata on how not to use his face to block an attack.
留守は任せろって言ってなかったか。
うっせえな。近々そうできるようになる。
影山君、君に全日本ユース強化合宿の招集がかかりました。
Coming in at 8 is the training camp invitation. Laughs aside, Kageyama's the star of the Karasuno's volleyball team, and you don't forget that. Well, maybe you do once in a while, like when Hinata's making those crazy jumps, or when the indifferent Tsukishima emerges as the scene stealer in the entire 3rd season. But you don't forget Kageyama's genius and technique for too long. Certainly not at the end of that epic 3rd season when the setter receives an invitation to join the National Youth Training Camp. The significance of this moment's all too clear in the expressions of shock, admiration, and even envy on his teammates' faces, and he's ahead of them all. This is his first step to playing for the Japanese under-19 team. It just goes to show that while Kageyama may not have the flashiest moments in the series, there's no denying that he's the strong center of Karasuno's revival from has-beens to giant killers.
大黒柱のエースになんかなれねえ。おい、ちょい。でも、俺がいればお前は最強だ。
In the number 7 spot, we have another great line from the setter: "As long as I'm here, you're invincible." The Karasuno boys are in the middle of a practice match and Hinata's a fumbling mess, distracted by the return of the team's ace, Asahi. He's envious of the older boy's height and power, qualities he sorely lacks. Kageyama sees through his distress and, in typical Kageyama fashion, scolds him for interrupting the game with his lack of concentration. He calls him out for his poor skills and even tells him that he's far from being the ace he aspires to be. Just as we're thinking he could cut Hinata some slack, he surprises us all. Still scowling, he turns around to reassure Hinata, saying, "As long as I'm here, you're invincible." It's not about tooting his own horn, actually. It's his way of lifting the spirit of a teammate, and that's what you gotta love about Kageyama.
俺がいればお前は最強だ。どんなに神経尖らしても リードブロックじゃ追いつけねえよ。
Up next is the first quick against Dateko. We're almost at the halfway mark now, and it's finally here, the freak quick that defines the partnership between Kageyama and Hinata. This moment comes early in Karasuno's first big official match. The boys are up against Dateko and its formidable defense, particularly Aone. Aptly named the Iron Wall, Aone looks more like the armored titan than a high schooler. He's not just big, he's plenty fast, has excellent reflexes, and is a sharp reader of the game. As it turns out, he's not fast enough to stop Kageyama and Hinata execute their monster move when they're at their peak. The point's over in the blink of an eye, but it's a moment fans of the show will remember for a long time to come. The fact that the quick manages to piss off Oikawa, who happens to be watching, is just an added bonus.
怖いね、嫌だね。ほんと天才ムカつくな。
The return dump against Shiratorizawa comes in at number 5. In Haikyuu, it's clear that the setter's the game's unsung hero. He's the player who does the heavy lifting while leaving the accolades to his teammates. But Kageyama gets some flashy moments every now and then, one of which has got to be his dump shot against Shiratorizawa. A dump shot in volleyball, we reckon, is the equivalent of an ace in tennis or a free kick goal in soccer. That's how impressive it looks. A powerhouse school, Shiratorizawa is led by the unrivaled Ushijima, but his other players are no pushovers either. In a battle where both teams are stretching themselves to their limits, Kageyama gives us one hell of a soul-satisfying moment when he executes the most unexpected dump shot. In doing so, he takes back the point scored by the rival setter Shirabu, also off a dump shot. He gets the better of Tendo Satori, whose frightening intuitive abilities have given him the nickname Guess Monster.
影山ナイストス。
いや、ちょっとトス早かったっす。させん。
自分に厳しいのね。
このできるかわかんねえ攻撃を繰り返すより、今までの攻撃とかサーブとかブロックとか他にやること山ほどあんだろうが。
Next up, we have the Kageyama Hinata fight. The next entry is no surprise. Haikyuu's favorite odd couple have been bickering since the get-go, but their big blow-up in the gym sure to give you the chills. It comes out of the blue in this otherwise feel-good show, yet the emotions are raw, real, and just so relatable. Hinata's insistence on learning to rely less on his setter and Kageyama's belief that this could endanger the team ends up in a supercharged, body-slamming brawl. To see Kageyama this worked up is perhaps more of a surprise than Hinata's stubbornness. Even after the fight's long over, the tension between the two continues to simmer, leading to an awkward period where neither's speaking to the other. It makes us worry that this could be the end of their magical pairing, but luckily for us, it isn't. On to the top 3 now, and we have the King up against the Great King in their first official match. Oikawa is Seijo's ace setter, whose arsenal of play includes a fearsome serve. He's the man Kageyama places in the highest regard, but Oikawa couldn't be bothered playing nice. He often taunts his young admirer, saying he hates geniuses and tries to crush him with every opportunity he gets. Oikawa is also the complete opposite of a typical setter. He's flashy, craves attention, and is a visible and imposing presence on the court. This is the beauty of Haikyuu's writing, where there are rarely any cliched characters. During the match, Oikawa gets the audience roaring with approval with a powerful dump shot. Not to be outdone though, Kageyama returns the favour a few minutes later, making it look completely natural, but also just a bit different. It's no wonder the competition between the two gives the show some of its best moments. More on that later.
同じのやるんで、ちゃんと警戒してくださいね。
このクソガキ。
Taking the runner-up position is the final point in the match against Shiratorizawa in Season 3. After a marathon passing game, Kageyama sets up the perfect toss for a famous victory. Famous because Karasuno are on the way to the Nationals and they're no longer flightless crows. As usual, the setter's toss-up isn't a dramatic moment itself, all the attention's on the attackers, who formed a circle around him, waiting for the ball to come to them. And if you look at the season as a whole, there are other players who make as much, if not more, of an impact than Kageyama. If not for Kageyama's reading of the game, pinpoint accuracy and quiet labour, there'd be no winning spike, no victory, no nationals. That's why in our book, this is as much as a moment for Kageyama as it is for Hinata.
絶対及川さんよりも上手いって言わせます。
Whoa! And now for our top moment. No points for guessing, it's Kageyama versus Oikawa again. With a chance to play in the Nationals at stake, Karasuno snatches victory from Seijo. At match point, the freak duo pulls off a win that seemed impossible. Oikawa can only watch as the ball lands on his side of the court, inches from his outstretched fingers. For the first time, he acknowledges Kageyama as his equal, but hold on, there's another moment in the same match where Kageyama's just a tad more impressive, one in which the limelight is just his alone, nobody else's. It's the setter dump he executes with clinical precision to bring Karasuno to match point. It also has Oikawa at a complete loss and acting out of character. It's a brilliantly visualized moment where you see the Seijo setter flat on the floor, looking up at Kageyama, who just happens to be looking down on him. Now that is exactly how you settle a score. We've reached the end of our video and we're rooting for our favourite volleyball boys as Haikyuu Season 4 plays out. We sure hope you are too. So what did you think of our top 10 Kageyama moments? Drop us a comment to let us know. Write to us if you thought we missed something. We'd love to hear from you on that. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like and a shout out, and of course, subscribe to the TV Regent for more cool anime, film and TV content. We'll keep you entertained, and that is a guarantee. See you in the next video.